So it's Saturday night, I'm done my writing for the week, I just got back from the farmer's market, and the verdict is I'm going to be making pasta with a white truffle cream sauce. In all honesty, like I noted in my blog the other day, I'm basing this decision on how the mushrooms looked at the farmer's market. And to tell you the truth, I wasn't blown away. Great little cheat, always keep some truffle oil around the house. Is it authentic? Not necessarily, but it's really a great way to make very savory, exceptionally delicious pasta dish. So, this means that I just opened up my bottle of 2003 Barbaresco from Produttori del Barbaresco, and as I also noted in my blog, I'm thinking it's going to be a bit young, hence the decanter right here. So, I'm going to taste it right now on camera, see how it goes, and depending upon whether or not I need to decant it, maybe I'll decant half of it, come back to it later tonight, and see how it's changed both in the decanter and in the bottle. Let's give it a shot. First thing I'm noticing is just a beautiful light color here. Almost looks like a Pinot Noir. Now this is not something that's necessarily uncommon, but for me, 2003, I was expecting something that maybe would have been a little bit darker. Not a bad thing by any means, just something that I'm noticing right off the bat. Now aside from a note of cinnamon, perhaps a little bit of nutmeg, I'm not getting a whole lot out of the nose here. I'm hoping this isn't in a dumb phase or anything like that, but I'm thinking that this is going to need a little bit more air. I'm not getting those classic Barbaresco aromas. Let's see if we actually taste more than we're smelling here. Now this is interesting. It still has the tannin and the acid to go for quite a bit longer. But for me, the mid-palate's staying rather quiet. The finish is where all of this wonderful expressiveness is coming out. I'm getting crushed raspberries here. I'm still getting some of that cinnamon, but I'm not really getting all of the, let's call it tar and roses that I might be expecting from a Barbaresco. So, I'm going to decant half of this, and we'll come back in a couple of hours. We'll talk a little bit about how it's evolved. Alright, so I just finished dinner, and I have to tell you, the wine is delicious. Here's the caveat. It's still young. I do have another bottle left in the cellar, and I'm not touching it for at least another 2 or 3 years. Truthfully, it's delicious with food. There's no question about that. The fat from the cream, the protein from the pancetta, it worked beautifully to really soften up the tannins. The acid became much more approachable. The acid, in fact, really did work to cut through some of that richness, some of that fat and protein. The truffle oil really was a perfect combination with the Barbaresco. Yet again, regional pairing works. Think truffles, think Piedmont. It's one of these standard things. It was absolutely delicious. In terms of the wine itself, it definitely got better the more time it had in the decanter. All of a sudden, the nose is just really popping out of the glass now. There's this wonderful perfume of like scorched earth, this interesting candied apple thing happening there, which I was not expecting, almost like a crushed, vaguely reduced raspberry note going on here. And on the palate, the mid-palate takes on much more density. There's a beautiful coffee characteristic there. The fruit's much darker on the palate than I was expecting based on the nose. This is really going to continue to evolve into a beautiful, well put together wine. Right now the structure is all there, the stuffing is all there. I think it just needs more than anything else a little more time, or a great bowl of appropriately paired food. So, moral here, don't be scared to open up your wines a little too young if that's what you have to do. But the truth is, make sure you do it with the right food, make sure you have a decanter on hand. Thanks for checking in, and until next time,